If you have a music streaming service, could you find and play this piece of music, Hello World by Kathryn?
When I fly, to overcome anxiety, I have to remind myself of Newton's third law of motion. And it goes like this. When two objects interact, they exert equal and opposite forces on each other. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. I have to consider the actualities of this. That an airplane's engines are designed to move it forward at high speed. As the curved airfoil wing of the plane rapidly moves forward, it deflects air and it alters the air pressure above and below them. Imagine you're walking through the shallow end of the swimming pool and you can feel the forces of the water pushing against your body, and your body diverts the flow of the water as you move through it. An airfoil wing does the same thing. As the airplane moves forward, it lowers the air pressure above it so it flies upward. And because I know this, I'm okay sitting in an airplane high up in the clouds. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. 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 But I haven't travelled in a while. Since we've been grounded, I've wanted to fill the enforced free time I've had. I didn't want to lose any of it. I wanted to turn a negative into a positive. I've been learning Python, German, all the Adobe software, Ableton, Swedish, the piano. I get bored easily. I've been a systems administrator, a bartender, a lawyer, a shop assistant, a charity worker, a journalist, a gardener. I can be anything I want. I used to make a mean gumbo, but I'm a vegetarian now. I'm very good at giving up smoking. I've done it at least 100 times. I promised myself that I would go swimming in the lake again this summer, but I haven't. Neither have I been able to make sourdough bread, or banana bread, or any other kind of bread. I'm scared of snakes. My whole family is scared of snakes. It's a rational fear. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. I would like a dog, but I have finite resources. Instead, I'll save my money on hotel rooms, airfares, and solo meals. It is probably a good thing that no one or nothing relies on me. Since I haven't been able to go out and be with my friends, I've been making cartoon sketches and tiny figurines of them. They don't know I do this. I knew that I would adapt well to this new world. I'm happy in my own company. I like my own company. But I also like that my friends have needed company, and so they've been calling me or FaceTiming or Zooming. I've caught up with friends that have scattered across the world. This grounding has brought us closer without the need for air travel. It felt good. It felt really good. Until an argument with my ex.
We should probably play something different here because the mood has changed. My ex would probably like you to play Free Falling by Tom Petty right now. But I hate that song. I'd like you to play I Need a Girl Part 1 by P. Diddy. You get to choose which you'd like to hear. My ex's dad used to work for NASA. The argument wasn't anything to do with this. My ex had a dog called Earhart, who used to like sitting on my feet in the footwell of the car as we tried to escape the heat of the city. The argument wasn't anything to do with that either. The argument was an old wound that we managed to reopen. It was about gamete donations and the implications of those actions, about the human beings that now exist because of those actions. It was about whether they have the right to know who their genetic donor parent is. Except it wasn't. It was about the forces we exerted on each other, the equal and opposite reactions. It was about ownership of each other, the notion that their body belonged to me and mine to them. And I can't help but wonder about those children and everything that my ex and I said to each other. Accountability, responsibility, betrayal, loss. Who do they look like? Would I recognize them if I passed them in the street? Would they have recognizable mannerisms? I wonder if there is anything in their faces that I might recognize. I wonder what this might mean to me. I wonder if this should mean anything to me. I also wonder what kind of world they've been born into. What kind of world is this to be a teenager in? I wonder what the world will be like when they're as old as myself and my ex. I think about the rights we think we have over other people's bodies. I think about the responsibilities we have to other people and their bodies, irrespective of the DNA we may or may not share. We broke up to that song, the P. Diddy one. Could you find Recovery by John Hopkins on your streaming service and play that now? Listen, I was really out of order during our catch-up the other night. History, eh? I guess it doesn't matter how much water has flowed under the bridge. There's still residual hurt and anger that can come bubbling up to the surface for both of us, right? It took me by surprise that you would say those things in front of everyone, and I reacted badly. That sounds like a mitigation for my actions, an excuse. I don't mean it to be. I reacted like a child. It was immature of me. What I said took me by surprise too. What I said was private. It was ours. And I betrayed that privacy. It cut right to the heart of our falling out all those years ago, about the things we choose to share, or not. I promise you, I kept everything to myself back then. But I guess that doesn't matter now that I have laid many of those things bare in front of A, B, and C. I had no right to lay into you like that. It's no longer my place to do that. It never was. I hope you're able to find peace and figure things out. Oh God, that sounds glib and insincere too, and it really isn't. I want you to be happy and safe. I've always wanted that. We were friends first and hope we can be again. I'm sorry. I haven't sent it yet. It's still sitting in my drafts. I'm standing on the empty street outside my flat smoking a cigarette. I can hear an airplane overhead. It is the first I have heard in a few months. I cannot see it. I can only hear it. I wonder who the people are on board. How many? What their names are. Where are they going? I hope they're okay. Maybe someone's chanting quietly to themselves. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.